Hello, I'm Risa Wells, Realtor with Michael Saunders and Company. I've got a guy for that. Team is on location today in Port Charlotte, Florida, and we're visiting with Mrs. Peggy Fear of Charlotte Academy. Let's get started. Welcome back. I am here on location with Mrs. Peggy Fear, the new head of school of Charlotte Academy. Charlotte Academy seems to be the best kept secret in this town for the last 20 years. I wanted to come here and introduce everyone, all my viewers and the people out there that are thinking about moving to our town with young families to your school. Can you tell me what makes Charlotte Academy stand out?
Well, Risa, I'm so happy that you're here. I love Charlotte Academy, and I don't want it to be a secret any longer because I want other families to be able to enjoy this school and be able to benefit from everything it has to offer. But Charlotte Academy is a Montessori school. We begin with students at the age of 3. We go to 3rd grade, and then we do something very unique. After we do all of the Montessori type activities, then we go into a transition program that ends up being a high academic prep program by the time our students leave here in 8th grade. Our students are so well prepared. The other thing about us is although we keep with all the standards, in fact, our students are at least 2 grade levels ahead of the state standards, we follow the child. And what I mean by that is that we look at the child that comes into our school and we basically say, this child is at this level. This child is at this learning plane. So we're going to take the child where the child is and we're going to advance them. And because of teaching them the love of learning and because of not trying to teach to a test, but teach the love of learning and use their interest and use their things that they're excited about, they seem to flourish. And I'm so excited about our school and everything that we have to offer. In fact, just this past week, in Education Week, I don't know if you read that or not, but
yes,
it's a great publication. And in Education Week, they featured Montessori schools and talking about how the Montessori philosophy and approach is just a fabulous thing for families and students, and how in the United States that it is actually growing. And you think of Maria Montessori years ago developing this way of looking at individualized learning, the way of looking at using the love of learning to increase learning, how that concept is still even stronger today. So I'm very, very excited about Charlotte Academy.
And I am too. And as you know, both my grandchildren go here, and I've seen such an amazing difference in both of them. It's interesting that a 1st grader has such knowledge that I have to look it up. I have to Google everything he tells me because he's just got such amazing knowledge for a 7-year-old. It's just so hard to believe. And I wanted to mention to you, and maybe you can add to it a little bit. The other night we had the Association of Realtors group out here with, we probably had about 30 realtors that came through, and you were kind enough to give us volunteers, to give us tours around through Montessori into the Delta building where the 4th through 8th graders go. And I was amazed at the questions that the realtors had, as well as the fact that mostly every one of them didn't know what Charlotte Academy was. And you're going to make that change for us. What are your future plans?
At Charlotte Academy, we're looking to go digital. And when I talk about being digital, I'm not talking about putting a computer in front of a child and that being the teacher. I'm talking about using the technology that is out there for us to supplement our learning. For example, there will be times that a child will write the paper in manuscript or in cursive. There will be times that a child will type their paper. In our world, you said something about Google a few minutes ago. In our world, research is where it's at.
Yeah.
You can research and see a volcano, not only read about it. So we're going to just enhance our learning by that. The one thing I love about the Montessori approach and the Delta approach is that we do a lot of quantitative critical thinking. And what that means is it's a lot of critical thinking, problem solving, hands-on. When you see our work cycle later, you're going to see the children and how we have a kindergartner doing division. And they're doing division by looking at the process of the Montessori materials. It's just absolutely fabulous what our teachers can get our students to do. And then when they leave us in 8th grade, they are ready for their prospective high school. So I'm just so thrilled at the things that we do. Plus, we have a great fine arts program here. We have beautiful art, and I think that, like, for example, the wall behind us, our students, every year, our fine arts teacher has our 8th grade students paint a mural on the wall. And it's just fabulous what our students can do.
It's mind-boggling to me. And I look around this room, and I know the camera is not going to be following me, although I believe we're going to have some stills or videos later. But this is such an exciting room, as is every one of the classrooms, from Montessori all through, from it's pre-K that it starts, right?
Age 3.
Age 3. So age 3, tell me about that real quickly. The age 3 through, what is it, age 6, going into the next level?
Correct.
And they're all in the same classroom?
Correct.
Okay.
The Montessori approach is very, very unique. For example, we have clusters of age groups. For example, as you mentioned, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and 6-year-old. And the reason for that is because they learn from each other. One day you may be a learner. Tomorrow you may be a leader on the exact same activity. Also, we learn by modeling. We learn by watching what other students do with their experiment or with their class activity or their work cycle. And when you go into the classrooms, you're going to see each individual child on their own independent level. If I am on my own independent level of, let's say I'm a 3-year-old and I am working on fine motor skills or gross motor skills, and I have an older child that can come and help me, or I can go to the work that an older child is doing, that just makes me a better learner. That makes my progress faster. And it's so independent here. That's what makes it so nice. We follow the child. We don't say, just because this is what the guidelines are, this is the standard, so you must stay here. We take you way past that. And if you're not ready for it, we give you the opportunity to catch up and get ready for it.
Exactly. So much different than in a classroom environment where everyone is sitting at a desk and learning the same material, whether they're ready for it or not. And that's where I want our viewers to know that Charlotte Academy is another option for you. There are other schools out there. There's the public schools and parochial schools, and there's Charlotte Academy. And my goal here today is to let everyone out there know that we are here, we're waiting for you, and to call for a tour.
Absolutely. And one other thing I wanted to bring up is that our learning is so authentic. You see gardening. You see real life things. You talked about your grandchild coming home and saying something about this topic or that topic, and you having to Google it. Everything is real life. Everything is geography. It's practical life things. It is problem solving things that students come across. Everything is so authentic to them. And I think that's why Maria Montessori and this school, Charlotte Academy, has been so successful.
Well, thank you so much for taking your precious time with me today. And I hope anyone listening to this will call the school and make an appointment for a private tour. What is your phone number?
I can tell you. As you know, I'm new. I've only been here.
Yeah, and that's okay. I don't know anything. I just hit the speed dial.
My phone number is 941-764-7673.
Great.
When you call, please ask for Nicole. She is our office administrator. She will get everything in order for you to be able to tour our school. And we hope you call us.
Thanks so much.
Well, thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Thank you, Mrs. Fear, for joining me. And thank you for tuning in. And remember, I've got a guy for that.